we show you why the Losi Lasernut U4 is the best RC for under $500 and why you must have this RC in your collection. But where there's good, there's bad, and there's one con in particular that might just hold this RC back. Losi Lasernut U4 review coming up. Pros and cons of the Losi Lasernut. And remember, take a close look. Take a close look right now. You see that? What does it say? Hey, what's up guys? I'm Joe.
And I'm Amber. We're the
TheRcKiwis. On this channel we do everything from bashing, crawling, speedruns, unboxing reviews and much more.
So if you're new here, consider subscribing. That way you won't miss out on any of our future RC adventures.
And in today's adventure we're taking out our brand new Losi Lasernut U4 for its first run, and we're going to review it and give you our initial thoughts at the end of this video.
This Losi Lasernut is based off a real rock racer. It is designed for the roughest of terrains, and it actually reminds us a lot of the Losi Tenacity DB Pro, which is one of Joe's favourites.
It sure is. I love that Tenacity DB Pro, and I'm sure I'm going to love this Lasernut by the looks of it. But we don't want to waste any time here. Let's just jump straight into the box. Does this just lift up?
Oh yeah, it lifts.
Oh?
Yeah.
No, there's tape there. Kitchen knife, man. The kitchen knife.
Ikea.
Oh,
it's huge.
This is way bigger than I thought it was going to be,
yeah.
and it looks so good.
In the box comes the instruction manual, which you should read, tools, an accessory, and a spare pinion if you're going to be running 3S. We're running 4S. 4 AA batteries, your remote controller,
and of course the Losi Lasernut U4. Guys, this video will not do this car justice at all. You've got to see this thing in person in real life, because this thing looks absolutely epic and I cannot wait to take it out for our first run and bash it around. But this body is completely licensed and it is all panels, separate panels connected to the cage. That should make it nice and tough. These enormous wheels are 2.2 inches and these are also licensed wheels, as licensed tires and wheels. There's just so much going on here, so much detail. The light bar, there's a nice big light bar that works, and there's also these side light pods as well, added detail. There's a lot of detail that's gone into this truck. You've got the little people inside, there's 2 of them there, one of them is the driver, one's going to be the navigator. You've even got a little GPS in there. There's so much to look at on this body, but let's look underneath the hood and see what this beast comes with.
So there are 2 body clips attached to the front of the buggy, and it hinges back just like this, which is super good and super easy if you want to switch out batteries quickly.
And this RC is going to take 3S and 4S. Of course, we're going to be running 4S today. And you got these 3 battery straps, so you'll be able to fit loads of different types of batteries into this RC. Now, the electronics that come with it comes with a 130 amp ESC, and then you have a 1900 kV motor there that's going to be providing loads of power to these nice, massive 2.2 inch wheels. For the servo, you've got an S614. This is metal geared and has approximately 12 kgs of torque. All the electrics on this RC are waterproof, but that doesn't mean your bearings are waterproof, just keep that in mind.
It has a nice metal chassis and beefy chassis braces to help keep it straight.
Now it's going to need those chassis braces when we take it out for that durability test, which, you know, we like to do those 4 levels of durability test. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go watch our X-Max or Kraden durability test video. Now the thickness of the chassis is 3mm, we just measured it. The front shock tower is 3.5mm and the rear shock tower is 4mm. Now there could be some room for error, but according to this measuring instrument right here, 3mm for the chassis, 3.5 for front shock tower, 4mm for the rear shock tower. Now speaking about the shocks are dialed in very, very nicely. Like all our Losi vehicles have been, they do the shocks so well. And this thing should just glide over all kinds of terrain. Looking at the drivetrain, it is all metal geared. It has a front, center, and rear differential. The center differential having a metal casing. The weight in the differentials is we have 10k in the front, 20k in the center, and 5k in the rear. The weight of the fluid in the shocks is 35 weight fluid.
It also has front and rear sway bars, which helps out a lot with the handling. And if you guys have been watching our videos for a while, you'll know that Joe and I need as much help with the handling as we can get.
Yeah, that is true. And look, overall, this car is just made to a really, really high standard, really high quality components when it comes to the plastics and the metal throughout. Now, I know we've missed many points on this RC, I'm sure of it. But don't worry, we're going to have this car linked in the description below if you're interested to know more about it. And if you're interested in buying it, if you do buy through our link, it won't cost you any extra, but it will help support the channel. So we thank you so very much if you do use our link anyway. That's enough talking, Amber. I am too excited to get this thing out driving. Let's head downstairs, grab a taxi, and head out to our first run location. Here we are on location in Hong Kong. This is one of our new first run spots. We took our Losi LMT here, of course. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you go watch it afterwards. Here we have it, the Losi Lasernut, and it just looks, I just can't stop looking at it in the drive here. I just keep looking at it. It's just such a good looking RC.
First, we're going to be using this 5000 milliamp 100C 4S LiPo battery from Spectrum. The smart range, because we smart.
One thing on the first generation that's a bit annoying is how this comes off the side here. It always gets stuck because these trays, they're made for the smart technology, but the batteries don't fit in them perfectly well. So I saw the new generation have these coming off the top here, which is a lot better. But for now, that's fine, we'll put it on the side.
Not very smart, is it?
It's not very smart.
Remote on first, plug the battery in, and turn the car on.
This is the first time we've turned on this car. Honestly, it is the very first time. And before we get into it, really quickly show you the remote. So this is a DX3. It's relatively new from Spectrum, and it's good because it works with the smart technology. So long as you've got a smart battery, it does some magic in there, and it sends some information over to your Spectrum remote, and then here we go. What do we got here? Our battery level. So right now, 4 lights, 4 greens. We have a fully charged LiPo battery. If you didn't have the smart battery, you wouldn't have these battery level indications. Check out the lights, man. The lights are looking pretty sweet. There's that light bar at the top and our pod lights. We'll run this a little bit later on tonight as well, so you can see it running at night time, see how bright those lights are. Amber saw how excited I am about this car, so she's giving me the honors to go first. Let's get into it, Amber. So I'm starting straight on 100%, man. We're not wasting any time here. You probably, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's actually quite bumpy around here. Quite bumpy, quite stony, and it's just gliding across it with ease, Right, we'll get some fast passes going, and then we'll get into some epic jumps. Oh no, the GoPro is gone. The thing I love about the Losi Tenacity DB Pro and the Losi Lasernut is it's just so smooth. You probably hear a lot of, look at that, like that's full turning at reasonable speed. Oh, there we go, there's a bit of a crash. Oh no. Man, it's just so easy to drive, man, and I need something like that. I need something that's easy to drive. I'm gonna go full throttle now. I'm punching full throttle right there. It's not the fastest RC in the world, but it's a rock racer, designed for all types of terrain. Over this area, it's actually quite stony. We're gonna do some runs through here and show you that suspension work. All right guys, we're gonna go full throttle through this terrain. Full throttle. Look at that. Whoa! Look, it just glides through this stuff, man.
It's still really fast.
It's still fast. Oh, gotta keep the speed up. Oh, whoa! There we go. It's still good. It's still good. Full throttle there, let's go, full throttle, full throttle. Look at that, I'm holding full throttle down and it's just destroying this terrain. Full throttle, this car has no issue through this terrain. I really did not expect this. Oh, that is awesome. Woo-hoo-hoo. Well, you saw there how well that suspension is working, and the way the tyres are just so big, gives some nice good ground clearance. This thing is so much fun on this rough terrain. You know, we're going to go back over there and we're going to see how well it jumps. Amber's the better jumper, she'll get a turn in a minute. Here we go, first ever jump, the Losi Lasernut. Whoa, oh no! But it's all good, it's all good. Oh, look at some air, man. Let's go for a backflip. Oh, I should have gone for the backflip. I'll try again. You beauty! Oh, that was beautiful. Come on, let's go, let's go. Yes. Oh, I'm sure when we hit that big black ramp, we're getting a double. Oh, on the side. This one was a durability test. Oh, guys, I'm having too much fun with this. Too much fun, but I better give Amber a turn before it gets night time, and then we are going to do a bit of a night run. Amber is now on the controls of the Losi Lasernut. There is an enormous A380 in the background, and here we have our Losi Lasernut. Amber, go for it. It's getting busy, and there's a lot of people here for their RCs. They're loving it. Some people recognised us, which is pretty awesome. It's starting to get a little bit late. It's looking a little dark. Hope you can still see the car. I'm sure you can with those big lights. So we put a poll up for the Kiwi Club members to vote for a car that they want to see on the channel next. And well, the Losi Lasernut got the most votes, and that's why we have it today. If you haven't yet, guys, make sure you go check out the TheRcKiwis, where we have some merch we've just launched. We have a launch sale going. There's heaps of cool things there, from t-shirts to hoodies, beanies, mugs, iPhone cases, and a lot more. Go check it out. And if you do buy something, make sure you put a photo on Instagram, tag us on Instagram so we can give you a shout out. Oh no! Oh no! Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Perfect! Yes! That was so good! Show them those lights, show them those lights. So we're going to come back in a second when it is pitch black to show you how these lights look at night time. And if it's, can you still drive it at night when it's pitch black? Is the lights actually going to help it? I don't know. We don't really do much night driving at all, so it'll be interesting.
You got it.
All the drive shafts are bent, see the front and the rear, all of them, man. But we've been absolutely bashing. This isn't even its durability test. We've just been having so much fun. Over there is Hong Kong Island, all those pretty lights, just like the pretty lights on that Losi Lasernut U4. I hope you got a cool demonstration on how they look at night time, but it's about time we head home and give you guys our initial thoughts on the Losi Lasernut U4. Well, we're back home and it's time to go over the pros and cons of the Losi Lasernut. And remember, take a close look right now. You see that? What does it say? That's right. You've got your opinion, we've got our opinion. So remember, this is purely our opinion when we go over these pros and cons. So Amber, let's start off with the pros. What was a pro for you with this car?
I find the suspension on this really, really good. And the jump that we were using wasn't huge, but it still landed so well. And it was just like, nice little bounce.
I agree. The suspension works so well on this car, and it was absorbing those enormous jumps that we were doing. And for me, the pro is, well, I've got to say, you know, we're not the best of drivers, especially when we're at the track. We're very much newbies, very much beginners, but this car is certainly beginner friendly. It is very easy to drive. That's what I found. You can go full throttle, you can turn quite sharply, and it stays on all 4 wheels. And if it does tip over, quite often it would roll back on itself, right?
It always rolls back.
Exactly. So I find this car a very easy car to drive, and like Amber said, the suspension works really well. It was really nice seeing it go over that rocky terrain. You saw in the slow motion there. You can see it absorbing all those bumps and rocks, and hey, we're gonna have to find out when we take this out to MX Club on that black ramp whether it's gonna be able to absorb the force when it comes down off that big black ramp. So that's the pros. How about some cons? What was a con for you, Amber, with the Losi Lasernut?
Good question. I honestly couldn't tell you a con at the moment. I've only driven it the once. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it. And as I said earlier in the video, I didn't really like the Losi tenacity. So this being very similar and quite comparable, I like this one a lot more.
Yeah, well, we're going to be doing some comparison videos in the future. You don't want to miss them. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Now, the cons that I found with this car, first thing is the drive shafts. Now, if you've been watching us for a while, that little bash session, that wasn't really a bash session for us. We like to really send it RCs. That was kids play. That was nothing, those jumps were absolutely nothing. Yet all 6 drive shafts, all the center ones, the ones with the axles, they all bent. And especially the ones connected to the wheels, they bent quite a lot. And I tell you, the Losi Tenacity DB Pro had the same problem. When we took that RC out for its durability test, all those drive shafts bent as well. Now, of course, some of you guys are going to be saying, well, Joe, Amber, it's not made for those jumps. It's not made for that. But then there's going to be people like us who are like, well, you know,
why not?
Why not? You know, take your RC out, do some big jumps. And we've got the Tractor Slash, the Tractor Max, the X Max, the Mojave. We've got loads of RCs, and not all of them have this problem of bending axles, especially when the jumps weren't that big. So that was a con for me, that the drive shafts did bend. But we have a solution to this, and that's going to be coming very soon. That will be in a future video when we take this out to MX Club. Some other things that I noticed was when you open back the body, you need to be very careful with these sway bars, because if they're bent in a certain way and you go to pull the body back down, you could possibly snap them. So be careful with your sway bars. Make sure you push them back a little bit before you bring the body down. Don't force anything. The plastic decals, or the plastic trimmings at the front, ours popped off. But hey, come on, that was bad landing. I had some bad landing, so that's expected. And other than that, turning right, it had a wider turning circle. Not too sure why, but the turning right, it's significantly wider turning circle when compared to left. Maybe it's the servo endpoints. We'll have to look at that later on. And to be honest, that's about it when it comes to the cons. There is very little to few cons. Even you could argue that they're not even really cons. So this RC is definitely the best RC, in our opinion, for under $500. I think it is definitely worth the price tag, which is $479.99 US, and I just checked and they do have it in stock at A-Main Hobby, so we are going to have this RC linked in the description below. And if you do decide to buy this RC and you go through our link, it won't cost you any extra, but it does help support the channel, and so we thank you very much if you do decide to use our link.
Now you'll notice the car got pretty dirty when we were playing with it, but we cleaned it up using no water, and if you're interested in how we do that, we'll leave a link in the YouTube card and the description box down below.
Let us know in the comments down below, do you agree with what we had to say on this Losi Lasernut? Do you own one? And if you do, what are your thoughts on this RC? I mean, you guys can clearly tell we really do love this RC. Now if you don't want to miss any more future videos, when we take this out for its bash session, when we take it out to the racetrack, put it up head to head with the Losi Tenacity DB Pro, make sure you go ahead and you hit that subscribe button.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a like anyway. Make sure you're staying safe out there on your RC adventures.
And remember, go check out TheRcKiwis.com, get yourself a cap, get yourself a t-shirt, hoodies, all sorts on that website. Make sure you go check it out. Anyway, remember guys, we're the RC Kiwis, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.